Yo, what is up? Diablo 4 video, and I want to talk about the Sorcerer. Today, Blizzard and the Diablo team released the patch notes. Now, I play all Cold Spell, Sorc. It's what I played beta. It's what I played preseason, and it's what I'm playing in Season 1. Right now, I'm on Hardcore. I'm like level 48 or 49, something like that, or somewhere in that range. And once I get to 50, I'm going to wait until next week before I play anymore because they added some updates and it's going to make us a little bit more tanky, a little bit more armor, a little bit more damage resistance, stuff like that. As it stands right now, we only have one unstoppable, and that's going to be teleport. And then you only have two immunities, and that would be flame shield and deep freeze. Which deep freeze is good because you can get the ice spikes, and also if you cast blizzard and then you do deep freeze, the spikes. If you have the aspect for deep freeze that burst spikes, and as well as your blizzard, anything that's on the ground like frozen, which this does, like when you deep freeze, you cast like the chilling and freezing effect on the ground, and you'll have just like spikes everywhere. So it is good for that. But as far as being able to evade out of crowd control, there's nothing like teleport. So for hardcore, I'm using all cold spells other than teleport, and I swapped that out for season one, deep freeze, and then using teleport. I know a lot of people that use this build. They're going to use flame shield, they're going to use firebolt, and then they use teleport, and then of course they use blizzard, frost nova, and some of them will use ice shard. Some of them will even use ice armor as well as flame shield because both of them are good. If you have blizzard going and you hit ice armor, you can run around, and that is causing the cold damage to apply to the enemies, and it'll cause the spikes to burst everywhere. But the main thing is going to be defense. So if we look at the Paragon board, I have everything on here. We look at armor right here, and I already have it pulled up, but I'll just show you. There's only 3 nodes on the whole Paragon board that have armor for Sorcerer, and that is 100 right here with this rare node safeguard, and then you have 2 magic nodes of 50. That is it. So you do have damage reduction, so you're going to have some of those and stuff, but as far as actual armor, there's nothing on the Paragon board. Or like if you even look like skill tree wise, I mean, yeah, you know you got like your barriers, and then like your gear, you get armor. You have the amulets and the rings now that have the hearts that give you a lot of armor, especially if you can get up to like tier 5 with it, which is really good because it gives you a ton of armor. So it's definitely better than it was in the preseason in that regards. But this patch is definitely going to help with that. So some of the things for the Sorc here. Now, I'm only using cold spells other than teleport. So I guess the majority of the updates are for shock spells and for fire, pyromancy. If you're a pyro, if you want to use like fireball, stuff like that, this one looks like it's going to be really good. Honestly, because of the hearts, they have that one little heart that you can get where you get a 10% boost to each type of element skill that you use. So like fire, lightning, or shock, and then cold or freezing. So each one of the different ones, you're going to get a 10% boost to that. So I mean, that stuff like 10%, 10%, 10%. It's only going to apply. It's not going to add up between all of them, but you're going to get the 10% boost for each type of element that you use. So a smart build would be to use all the different types of elements at your disposal in your skill. But because I like to only use cold spells, that's what I'm going to focus on. But right here, improve late game survivability, mostly through Paragon board improvements. I'll go over that in a second. Adjust some class mechanics. This is the Kiss Curse. So basically, you get, 30% increased damage, kind of like Glass Cannon. You do 30% more damage, but you take 15% more. And that kind of sucks because Glass Cannon is really good and it's really strong, but I mean, it is exactly what it is. You're a glass cannon. Like, you can hit hard, but you get one tapped a lot with glass cannon. I Honestly, in hardcore, I don't even touch glass cannon. I'm just gonna keep it real because you just take so much damage, and then resistances are not working properly, and we already don't have enough armor as it is until we get this update. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see what they do with that. I don't think they mentioned glass cannon, but we'll look. Skills. These are all fireball and lightning. Now look in the. I think it was the very first, like the early access beta, the very first one. I think they had 3 versions. You had the early access, like pre-order one. You had the free open one, and then you had the server slam. And I don't remember which one, but I tried Chain Lightning. I think it was the very first one. Chain Lightning and the what are the snakes called? You have like the little 3 or 4 headed snake, and those were really good. Like in the, I wish we could have like Diablo 4 Classic where we go back to like the the first beta because that stuff was so OP. Passives right here again. I don't know like viewers, like I don't use any of these passives because I play cold spells. So the passives that I'm using, are not going to be any of these. But if you're playing fire or shock, these ones are definitely going to be really good. The Paragon board is what we want to look at though. Siren Heat Legendary, not for me because I don't use Fireball and Meteor, but we have the Territorial Rare Glyph. So you're going to get your damage reduction increase from 10 to 15%. That's huge. Warding Rare Glyph. Another one, damage reduction increase from 13 to 25%, almost doubled, 1% less from being doubled. So it's like 90, whatever, 94% or something like that. Keeper of Flame, rare node, damage reduction increase from 4 to 5, bonus damage reduction increase from 4 to 5. Smoldering Embers, rare node, damage reduction from burning enemies. Again, I don't use that one, but it's from 4 to 5. Okay, here's one right here. Guarded Rare Node. Damage reduction from vulnerable enemies increased from 4 to 5%. Bonus damage reduction from vulnerable enemies increased from 4 to 5%. So if you are using this node, you're going to get 10% up from 8% if you had both of them active, damage reduction, which is huge. Oppressive Rare Node. Damage reduction from vulnerable enemies increased again 4 to 5. So you're going from 12 to 15% damage reduction. And then here's another one, Lightning Resilience Rare Node, maximum life bonus increased from 4% to 6%. Huge. Legendaries. One thing I would have liked to seen them do on the Paragon is maybe add like a couple more armor nodes on here somewhere. I don't know what they could have done to, I don't know how they could have done that, but as I showed right here, if you look, we only have the 3 armor nodes, and they're right here. See if I can get them, pull it up. So you only have these 3 nodes off the whole Paragon board. All, what is it, 9 of them? Or is it 9? No, 7. No, it is 9, yeah. 9 Paragon boards. You only have 3 things of armor. 200 armor, that's it. It would have been nice to see them. I mean, even if they would have just put 200 more somewhere, that would have been super nice. But, it is what it is. The Sorc, I do understand why the Sorc has less armor because mostly everything's from a distance, even though the nature of the game is to play close range. Like you're always seems like you're always in the middle because you get swarmed from every direction. So you're always in the middle. It's never like sometimes like you say in a prison, I can sit there and, tap my blizzard through the door and then just shoot my ice bolt and never have the enemies come through the door, just kill them before they get to me. And that's really effective, but it would have been nice still to have some more damage reduction. So the legendaries right here, Hydra, that was the snakes I was talking about. Bonus damage. I'm looking for cold because that's all I really care about. Gravitational aspect. Right here, aspect of bounding can do it. Bonus movement speed increase from 20 to 25 to 25 to 30. So I don't know if that's with the teleport or not. I'm not sure. Aspect of bounding can do it. It's got to be with teleport though, I would think. So we've got some cold ones right here. Aspect of frozen orbit. Damage increase from 20 to 30 to 30 to 40. Storm swell aspect, bonus damage increase from 11 to 20 to 21 to 30. Snowfield, I do use this. Unstoppable duration increase from 2 to 3 to 3 to 5. Additional functionality also grants 10% armor for 3 to 5 seconds. Incinerary aspect, I don't use this one because it's pyromancy skills. Snow guard aspect, again, I do use this. While you're in your own blizzard and for 3 seconds after leaving it, you take 20 to 25% less damage. That's huge. Because before, I think it was just while you're in your own blizzard, you take 20% less damage for 3 seconds while within your own blizzard. But I think the part like after you leave it, I don't think that was there before. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but I think that's the way it was. Aspect of concentration, mana regen increased from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50. Huge. Duration requirement to gain its benefit reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. That's huge. It's definitely an aspect. I think that I used that on my ring, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that I'm using it on. But I know I want to say I thought it was 15% mana regen increase, but whatever. That's huge right there. So the uniques, Glove of the Illuminator, damage penalty reduced from 65 to 55 to 45 to 35. I don't use this. Damage to stunned affects replaced by lucky hit, changed to restore, and then the Illuminator first bounce occurs much closer to player. So I think that's like where is that the lightning strike? The first bounce occurs. I'm not sure. I don't use these gloves, so let's see. Monster density, they increase some of this, so bosses above level 60 will have more health. And then below remain the same. Bosses at level 80 have 50% increased health. And then bosses at level 100 have 100%, 150 have 150%. And that's also in Helltide as well. General, let's see, how damage and other effects interact with active barriers. So bonus damage or bonus effects that are applied on a hit or when dealing damage now apply that same effect through barriers. So that's cool. The exploit Paragon Glyph will now apply vulnerable to enemies that have an active barrier. So the exploit, pretty sure, I don't know if it's every class that has it. I know Barbarian does. Is this one that they removed? I know they removed something. Yeah, I think they removed this from the sort. Yeah, that's removed. Or no, wait a minute. Exploit. Oh, that's the glyph. Never mind, that's the glyph. No, yeah, that's glyph. Will now apply vulnerable to enemies that have an active barrier. Okay. Cheat death effects will now work properly when the player has an active barrier. This also affects PvP. Varshan will now break through any bone wall. Don't use that. The cost for refunded skill and Paragon points has been decreased or reduced. We've increased the stack limit for elixirs from 20 to 99. That's nice. An additional stash tab can now be purchased. We have restored the cast time to leave dungeon back to 3 seconds. They're trying to say that it's just easy escape. Come on, man. Like, even at 5 seconds, you can take like 20% damage before it actually breaks the thing. Like the only ones that would really break it sometimes, maybe like the butcher or like some of the like big elite bosses. But like the minions, like you could still escape. Like, come on, man. We're not stupid. And then they removed some of those dungeon affixes they mentioned malignant hearts, caged hearts of spell breaking. So change to upon taking elemental damage, gain 10 to 20% damage reduction. That is one that I have tried using for the Sorc. I do like that a lot. This is a nice update right here. So you gain like that damage reduction for 5 seconds. And then unique items, all stat affix replaced with max life. Barrier is now based on maximum life and now properly accounted by conditions checking for player having a barrier. And then there's some like bug fixes and stuff here. Who cares? Let's see what the gameplay with the Sorcerer. Fixed an issue where elemental dominance passives didn't function correctly when using core mastery. Fixed an issue where omni power, malignant power wouldn't properly consume additional mana, which would not trigger the other interactions with additional resource consumption. The damage reduction from mana shield passive. Fixed an issue where the omni power, malignant power was inconsistently launching the appropriate number of projectiles In addition, the tooltip has been updated to better describe the power. Fixed an issue. A random location teleport from the Oculus could cause players to get stuck in the environment. I actually haven't got that wand yet, so I don't have any opinion on that. Seems like that's pretty much it. Oh, look, they updated the shop. That's the one thing I've never seen any problems with. UI, miscellaneous, who cares? That's pretty much it, though. Yeah, there goes the Sorc. Like, as far as code spells and stuff like that, Sorc got a huge buff. Honestly, I'm going to say this, and people will be like, oh, you're crazy. I think, like, still, if you have the Barber, if you have the Glacial aspect, and you're doing Blizzard cold spells, and you have the spikes with ice armor, and even if you have the spikes with deep freeze, you have all three of them. Look, you're not going to delete Uber Lilith. I was about to say Melania from Elden Ring. Anyway, you're not going to. I don't care what you can wear, NATO, Rogue. I don't care what it is. You're not defeating Uber Lilith faster than Blizzard Ice Spike Sorc. It's the most OP. Now that they're kind of adding some defenses, I still don't feel the defense is still there because the resistances don't work. And if you look, like when you go to tier 3 and tier 4, those are the things that tier 3 and tier 4 affect, like affects their resistances. So them not fixing those till season 2 and them still being broke, Sorc is still going to be kind of weak, but I guess maybe, look, every little bit helps. They did add the armor to the hearts, and, you know, once you get those tier 5, you do have a lot of health. Of course, we're reliant on gear for the armor, which is huge. You know, strength, I think it's like every 5 strength, I think, is 2 armor, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, maybe throw in a little bit of a look to see what your armor is and try to get to that 72% tile range. But, you know, some of these have, like, you know, strength in here. Even it's like a little fist. Where is strength at? I know there's got to be like a strength node somewhere. Right here. You know, add a little strength node every now and then. You know, maybe if you add 10 of them, you get 50 strength. You figure that's 20 armor. You know, every little bit helps. You know, just if you got extra ones, you know, or when you're taking a path, maybe if you have like the option, like, you know, say like what would be a good example? Okay, let's say you are trying to activate this node right here, so you can either choose this one, or this one. If, you know, one of them, say these are willpower and this one's strength, maybe just go with the strength one, you know, just to get a little bit more armor there. But that's the video. That's the Sorc ice build. Check out my live stream videos. You can just go look on my channel and go to live. I do stream almost every night on YouTube for a couple hours or whatever, and I have been streaming the Sorc, although I don't always play with it because I play all the classes and different builds, hardcore, softcore. I'm all over the place, sometimes in groups, sometimes solo, you know, no rhyme or reason, but I do stream pretty much every day, sometimes early in the morning, a lot of times late at night or in the evening, East Coast time. So that's the video. I'm out. Peace. Where's this at? Give the video a thumbs up too. Don't be a hater.